Hey, welcome back everyone. This is Uncle Frank, and I am not a financial advisor, nor is any of the content to be construed as financial advice. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. The U.S. Fed Reserve's preferred measure of underlying inflation accelerated in October from a year ago. The so-called Core Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, which strips out volatile food and energy items, increased 2.8% from October last year and 0.3% from a month earlier. A good part of that acceleration, however, was due to the impact of higher stock prices on the calculation. While inflation is taking time to recede back to the Fed's 2% target, the policy path ahead will be complicated by Donald Trump's economic agenda, which many economists warn will reverse America's multi-year climb out of the pandemic recession while reigniting inflation. Indeed, Trump's plans, despite his promises to lower U.S. fuel costs, are seen as causing a spike in U.S. gasoline prices by as much as 50 cents a gallon come summer. Well, you might as well get used to this. This is how it was the last time Trump took office. Criticize everything even before he does it. Ignore any good results and then seize upon the bad ones. It's weak and pathetic, but that's the American press, including the financial one. For the record, let's not forget Mike Bloomberg endorsed Biden in 2020, gave him $15 million for TV ads in Texas, gave him $100 million in Florida, gave him $20 million for 2024. $135 million later, what do you have, Mike? Jack shit. America rejected you, your drooling frontman for Obama, and your cackling hyena Kamala as leader of the free world. People that actually care about the country will take it from here and try to repair all the damage you and yours have done to her. On Friday, the S&P 500 shed 22.89 to finish at 59.98. The Dow lost 138 to finish at 44,722. And the Nasdaq lost 115, finishing at 19,060. The Russell did finish in the green at 24.26. Crude oil stands at 68.94, and gold is at 2670.60, adding 580 on Friday. And now a moment of clarity from Uncle Frank. Inflation is not going down. Inflation is not going sideways. Inflation has been rising. What does all that mean? The expected interest rate cut for December may not happen. Now, this slide goes out to every person that said ACHR will only do well 3 years from now. I would be foolish to buy it here, right, Brett Schaefer? ACHR Aviation stock soars to new 52-week high. I don't post all my positions, but I will share my best trade on ACHR so far. I own the 350 calls expiring January 17th at 46 cents, and those are now worth 460. That's 900% so far. Over the past 5 days, ACHR has added over 66%, and over the past month, 160.65%. ACHR Aviation isn't a secret anymore, making the top 10 over the past 24 hours on Reddit's sentiment and mention tracker, coming in at 7th. In first, Bitcoin. 4th, Nvidia. 5th, GameStop. And in 8th, XRP. There's ACHR again, this time on the most active list, coming in at 4th. I would expect word about this stock is finally getting around. There's ACHR again, this time on the top gainers list in the 6th position. For me personally, this is what all the excitement's about. Having vision, being able to peek into the future. A post from LinkedIn, electric air taxis are one step closer to soaring over New York City. Congratulations to ACHR partner Skyports Infrastructure and Group ADP on being selected by the New York City Economic Development Corporation as the operator of the downtown Manhattan heliport in New York City. On your screen, you can see the flight path from Manhattan to Newark Liberty International Airport, taking just 10 minutes versus driving an hour and 15 minutes by car. Together with our partners, United Airlines and Southwest Airlines, we are excited to work with New York to help electrify the downtown New York City heliport and bring quieter, more affordable electric air taxis to New Yorkers. We started pre-market Wednesday with a crime candle low of 712, advanced up to a high of 854 before closing at 808, gaining 86 cents or 11.91%. After hours, we tacked on another 32 cents or 3.96%. This is all on no real news or announcement from the company itself. In my opinion, the pre-revenue company stock is up because they are driving to be the first in the air to accept fares for flights from the public. They have a $6 billion order book showing strong interest in the aircraft, and they're making progress with the FAA process. Now there's the year-to-date daily on your screen, and after such a vicious rise, I don't think any of us would be surprised by a pullback. But I also see a golden cross shaping up. The 50-day moving average is at 375 and does look to be closing in on that 200-day moving average at 396. Now, I believe the next big announcement, at least from the company, will be that our high-volume manufacturing facility will be finished on time and on budget this year. It's located in Covington, Georgia, adjacent to the Covington Municipal Airport. I'm hearing the 400,000 square foot facility is nearly complete, with the final phases focused on interior fit-out and equipment installation. Now, happy Thanksgiving to all of you, but don't forget, we have a shortened trading session tomorrow, along with it being options expiration Friday for ACHR. I currently see 25,170 calls in the money with max pain at 6 for the November 29th expiration. That's that white arrow across your screen on this daily chart. Here's hoping we get some good news on the markets and or from ACHR Aviation itself. I personally would cherish a gamma ramp right up Susquehanna's ass, emerging from the hedge fund's mouth to help us celebrate the holiday. At the time of this recording, there is 1 million shares available to lend and short, of course, from the prime brokers at a cost to borrow rate of only 2.52%. Off-exchange volume in the dark pools has been insane, and it makes you wonder what the stock price would be if they weren't able to misuse the dark pools and cheat in the open this way. Only 14.5% of all of ACHR's trades were on the lit exchange we're listed on. Official short interest as of 11/15 is 76.61 million, or 18.75% of the float, which I say is total bullshit. We have learned time and time again they may mark tens of millions of short trades as longs and only pay a tiny fine if they are detected. Short interest was only 39.62 million exactly 1 year ago and now stands at 76.61 million, so don't think I'm buying these bullshit numbers, because I'm not. Now, this is not investment advice, and I am not an investment advisor. I will never tell you to buy, sell, or hold any security or cryptocurrency. But Uncle Frank is watching for weakness on the VIX again, which closed at 1410, and the connected calls with expirations just past the December Fed meeting and the Trump inauguration day on January 20th, which is now only 52 days away. A headline from MarketWatch: traders are loading up on protection against extreme moves as stocks zoom higher. Investors are buying up crash protection for their portfolios, even as a sizzling post-election rally shows few signs of slowing down. I'm in the market for a little protection myself. I'm grateful to God that my number one stock pick, ACHR, is already bearing fruit, especially after the nightmare that is AMC and Adam Aaron. But now my number one crypto pick seems to be ready for its day in the sun. At the time of this recording, I have XRP at 147, up 140% over the past year, and I see no less than 10 catalysts that will propel this coin to over its all-time high of 384 and then to the mid-sevens, which would return it to the second largest crypto project in the world by market cap, a place it held before. These are my price predictions for 2025, unless the coin goes parabolic for some unseen reason. Not investment advice or advisor. So Uncle Frank, how did you arrive at these price targets for XRP in 2025? Well, actually, it's a very unsophisticated approach. The coin has already achieved these levels in a manner of speaking, and I believe the project has far more potential now than it did back when it scored these benchmarks in the past. I think XRP will easily score a new high of 385 over its current all-time high, and then will return to the coin with the second highest market cap, a spot it held before, which would mean a price over 750 to 775 per coin. That's it. Everything else that happens is just icing on the cake for a guy like me. I have the dismissal of the SEC case and appeal to look forward to, and as many as 5 XRP ETFs in the pipeline, a possible Ripple IPO, and Ripple's stablecoin, RLUSD, and even a collaboration with Elon Musk and X, formerly known as Twitter. Hey, for those of you worried about what a Trump presidency will look like, I would urge you to visit the National Archives and read the Trump administration accomplishments from the last time he led the nation. On this channel, we make informed decisions. This is also excellent information to send to people that live in a fantasy land of their own creation and hate the facts and the truth. Now, this is what actually happened the last time the Trump administration took office. Before the China virus invaded our shores, we built the world's most prosperous economy. America gained 7 million new jobs, more than 3 times government experts' projections. Middle-class family income increased nearly $6,000, more than 5 times the gains during the entire previous administration. The unemployment rate reached 3.5%, the lowest in a half century. They achieved 40 months in a row with more job openings than job hirings. More Americans reported being employed than ever before, nearly 160 million. Jobless claims hit a nearly 50-year low. The number of people claiming unemployment insurance as a share of the population hit its lowest on record. Incomes rose in every single metro area in the U.S. for the first time in nearly 3 decades. Unemployment rates for African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian and Native Americans, veterans, individuals with disabilities, and those without a high school diploma all reached record lows. Unemployment for women hit its lowest rate in nearly 70 years. They lifted nearly 7 million people off of food stamps. Poverty rates for African Americans and Hispanic Americans reached record lows. Income inequality fell for 2 straight years, and by the largest amount in over a decade. The bottom 50% of American households saw a 40% increase in net worth. Wages rose fastest for low-income and blue-collar workers, a 16% pay increase. African-American homeownership increased from 41.7% to 46.4%. For any remaining Democrats on this channel that had the courage to sit through that list, I commend you. Those items should sound familiar. It's all the things Democrats promise but never deliver. It took a non-politician to achieve these things. The previous Trump administration brought jobs, factories, and industries back to the U.S. They created more than 1.2 million manufacturing and construction jobs. They put in place policies to bring back supply chains from overseas. Small business optimism broke a 35-year-old record in 2018. There was also tax relief for the middle class. They passed $3.2 trillion in historic tax relief and reformed the tax code. They signed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which was the largest tax reform package in history. More than 6 million American workers received wage increases, bonuses, and increased benefits thanks to those tax cuts. A typical family of 4 earning $75,000 received an income tax cut of more than $2,000, slashing their tax bill in half. You see, guys, people earning more and paying less in taxes, that's the only path I know to get ahead. And when Democrats tell you the rich aren't paying their fair share, they are, of course, lying. In total, about 60% of U.S. households paid income tax in 2022. The remaining 40% of households paid no individual income tax, zero. In that same year, about 47% of U.S. households with an income between $40,000 and $50,000 paid no individual income taxes. So the rich and middle class are paying their share and the share of the 40% that are paying zero in federal income tax. But this administration also doubled the standard deduction, making the first $24,000 earned by a married couple completely tax-free. That's how those people are going to get ahead. They doubled the child tax credit and virtually eliminated the unfair estate tax or death tax. I could go on for another hour, but you get the point by now. These accomplishments are why so many liberal celebrities hate President Trump and are leaving our nation. Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and please remember to hit the like button after this slide if you enjoyed the presentation. Subscribe to the channel and set the alert so you're notified when I have new information to share. See you at the bell.